In today's world, you would think things would understanding of others would be getting better due to new diseases and and labeling certain new diseases behind why people are different. And but in reality, they're not. The people are not becoming more understanding of each other. In reality, it just seems to be becoming worse for reasons I can't even explain. Hello, everyone. This is a 20th Century Enthusiast, and as you can probably tell, I'm going to be talking about, as I stated in my last video, the reason behind why all these horrible killings are occurring throughout the country. Adam Lanza died as a 20-year-old man. He never really got to do much of anything, and he never will get to. He's gone. He won't get to accomplish anything, and that is partly a fault of his own, but also society's fault because nobody really, from what I can make out. I mean, I didn't go to high school with him, um, and I certainly didn't go. I wasn't with him his whole life. I didn't even know the guy. I mean, I'm just judging on what I'm hearing. He didn't. He was different, and it affected how he. It affected his life because, I mean, people wouldn't talk to him. They thought he was weird. I was in a similar situation in high school, but and it does disgust me to look at it like this. Like with all these things, people should be more understanding of people. They should understand that they can't just go up to them and say and talk. They have sometimes the people without problems, normal kids, should be the initiators. These things never happened in the old days. Sure there was no labels for these kids. They didn't even know what was wrong with them, and I've heard from my own parents that they was treated much differently. But come on, I mean, just to sit there and do nothing. At least in the old days when you were different, people acknowledged you. I guess maybe because there weren't labels. I mean, in the old days, if you were different, from what I've been told, you were told to just suck it up and change for society. I mean, it seems horrible now, but it worked. My father's where he is today because of that. I'm sure he has something. He's different, but that didn't stop him. And it seems like these labels are allowing it to stop people. If Adam had lived much longer, he probably wouldn't have done much of anything anyway. He was a recluse. He sat in his house all the time and played video games. Yeah, I like these same video games, the shoot 'em ups, games or the war games. But it did seem to get to his head. He took it literally and went out and did something bad. But no, I'm not for the ban of these games. I do support them, or it can work um, for people if they know how to understand it. But we should take what Adam Lanza did and people just like him as a lesson, not to teach your children to be more understanding of people who are different. Then they may not have a reason to go out and do this. If he had just had one friend, he probably wouldn't have done it. If he had just had one person to talk to, forget about a friend who was his age, probably his mother didn't seem like he talked with him much either. He killed her, from what I understand. It's not even his brother talked with him. Ryan Lanza. Actually, he was accused of being a part of it. And I do remember reading the first day it happened that Ryan was the shooter. Ryan was in college in Hoboken, New Jersey, and nothing to do with it. Knew nothing about it. But yet he was dragged out, and his rights were violated because of that. But something has to be done. Not about guns, but about people's interaction with one another. So, especially today when all this technology that allows them to avoid talking to others with texting and all, that's the real problem. A long chain of events led to him doing this. It was society's fault. I don't blame myself personally, but because I really didn't know the guy and had nothing to do with it. But for people that were all involved throughout his life, what the hell is your problem? Why couldn't you have just done something? I mean, and I've also heard that nobody seemed to know who he was, even from his high school where he had just come from, or recently, because he was 20, and that means that it must have been about a year or two that he had been there. He seemed a lot like me when I was in high school, just get in and get out. I was a little better. I did have some friends, but very few because most people today just suck. And I saw it. It's not, and I'm sure it's not different anywhere else. I was in one of the better schools in New Jersey by, at least by most people's standards, but schooling today is just falling down the drain so much that probably doesn't even mean anything. And I will be discussing that in my next video, school today, because schooling's changed a lot throughout, especially in the United States from the beginning of time, from the beginning of its history, I guess. So, until then, this has been 20th Century Enthusiast. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.